Hey guys, it's been a minute. Uh, where do I even start, man? So this podcast used to be called the Up to You podcast, but I thought, you know what? Every great podcaster after 4 episodes rebrands. So that's what I'm doing. Pretty much, we're gonna be changing the name of this podcast to the Fall Off. I think it's more fitting given being in the social media space and the fact that people like to comment that I fell off. So it's like, what does every content creator do when they fall off? All right, they start a podcast. So, welcome to the unofficial first episode of the Fall Off. Today we got a jam packed schedule of talking points. I asked you guys on my Instagram story what you guys wanted to talk about, and we got some good questions here, or good prompts, I should say. Just from a high level overview, we're gonna be talking about work-life balance, or work Instagram balance rather, the movie Cars, Indian food, and the review for Deadpool. Okay, so I watched Deadpool and Wolverine last week, and I'm letting you guys know, spoiler alert now. If you don't want spoilers, fast forward. I'll leave in the description a timestamp to fast forward to. But if you don't want any Deadpool and Wolverine spoilers, this section is probably not for you. So, anyways, as I was saying, Deadpool and Wolverine was funny because I saw it on last Thursday night, exactly a week ago at like 10 p.m. The movie technically came out on Friday, but like the day before they have some shows. And this viewing was so crazy because I'm not like a Marvel fan like that. Like, I like Marvel, I like the movies, but I'm not like a diehard Marvel fan, So I was there with like the craziest crowd of like Marvel diehard fans, like stans, truly, which is a fitting name because it's Stan Lee and his legacy. But bro, it was pretty crazy. Like, people like trying to dress up as Deadpool and Wolverine. There were no seats left, so I was in the front row, dude. Like, my neck kind of hurts low key after being in the front row. I'm also like an A-list member at AMC, so like typically the concession stand at the theater it's pretty empty, especially in that line. But yo, this thing was like stretching out the door. It was wild, man. In the A-list line, I was there for like 10 minutes, and the movie technically started at like 9:45, but I was still in line at like 9:55. And I remember the guy in front of me was like bugging out. This guy was like an actual diehard Marvel Deadpool guy, shirt on, everything, and he was like freaking out that like, oh my god, like what if they're out of Wolverine or Deadpool merch? Like, like at early viewings of shows, like they typically give out like a popcorn basket or like a soda cup as merch. This guy wanted a Deadpool cup so bad, like so bad. And he finally goes up to the register and he's like holding up the line, like being like, so you're telling me there's no more Deadpool cups? There's none left. Okay, can you check in the back? I was like, yeah, dude, they're definitely holding a bunch of Deadpool cups hostage back there. You're going to be okay. All right. It's fine. So I finally get my stuff. I literally just wanted like a drink. That's it. Because it was like 1,000 degrees in the theater. Did Doja just punch the glass? Okay, so my bedroom window is right there, and I just heard something slam against the glass, I think. Yeah, Doja's like punching something at the glass. Maybe it's a bug. It scared me. She hit that thing hard, bro. Like Jake Paul. Crazy. Where was I? Okay, so it was like 1,000 degrees in the theater. And I made the mistake of wearing like sweats. So throughout the whole movie, I'm sweating bullets, dude. Like, it was so uncomfortable. My drink was done like halfway through the movie. I had like a headache by the end of the movie because I felt so dehydrated. But let's talk about the actual movie, shall we? It was good. It was good, in my opinion. Deadpool and Wolverine was good. I don't think it was great. Yes, it was the best movie that Marvel's put out in the last 5 years, but that's not saying much. Well, I don't know. I'll take that back. Shang-Chi was really good. I think I like that movie better than Deadpool and Wolverine. That movie was just like flawless in my opinion. I loved it. But if we're talking about the current state of Marvel and where they're going to go in the future, they it's kind of a shit show, honestly, with the whole like multiverse and like it's overdone. And spoiler alert, I already mentioned spoiler alert, so I'm not going to mention that anymore, that disclaimer. But like Ryan Reynolds, even in the movie, like acknowledging the fact that we're at a low point with Marvel and that the multiverse is like so overdone. It's on point, and he's right. And it's just it's like a headache, man. Like honestly, keeping up with all the content Marvel's put out in the last 5 years just felt like a chore, especially because it's not like great. You know what I mean? It's definitely been quantity over quality over the last few years, but it was good. I mean, like the action sequences were great. You laugh. I almost cried like at a couple parts. It's very like Ryan Reynolds is a very talented writer for sure. It was good. Um, but there were some parts that I thought were a little cringe. Like truthfully, I thought that Channing Tatum as Gambit was horrible. I've been seeing online that people love Channing Tatum as Gambit and the whole Gambit character, but I didn't think it was funny at all. Like I thought he was like a little annoying. And that's no disrespect towards Channing Tatum. Is he an insanely handsome and funny and charismatic guy? Yes, but I think that with this role, it just wasn't it. You know, it just wasn't it. Um, Side note: Blade was sick. His reveal, sick. That guy has maximum aura. It was sick. Oh, I said sick like 10 times in the last 30 seconds, so that's how you know I mean it. uh, Also, some of the humor in the movie was good, but it kind of felt like, oh my god, it's a rated R movie. Let's say the F word in Marvel. We're so bad. We're saying the F word in the Marvel studio movie. We've never done this before. This is crazy. What if we start cussing because it's a Marvel movie? We don't cuss in comic book movies. This is crazy. So it's just like, all right, all right. I just think that like if you're only funny by like swearing and being gross and crude, you're not that funny. But there were some like jokes, a lot of jokes that in the movie hit, and it wasn't because it was crude or like just swearing. Um, so I do think that was a little bit overdone. But yeah, man, I'd give it like an 8 out of 10, like a solid B minus. Like it was good. Would I go watch it again? Probably not. Not until like it comes out on like Disney Plus or whatever. I truly don't understand the fandom of like of people bragging, being like, "Oh my god, I saw Deadpool like 5 times in the theater." It's like that's just highway robbery. You're telling me you spent $15 on the same movie 5 times? That's just you might as well take a George Washington. Wait, he's not on the $100 bill, is he? Who's on the $100 bill? Whatever. That's basically taking like $100 bill. I said George Washington. He's on the $1 bill. Wow. I'm stupid. Okay. Point being, that's like taking $100 bill and just tearing it in half in front of the mirror slowly. Like, you really got to watch it 5 times. I don't know. I just think it's weird that that's like a flex in 2024. Um, I think, okay, truthfully, I think like things that are considered nerdy, like comic books, superhero, sci-fi, like movies, comics, books, whatever. There's like a weird culture around it where it's like there's a lot of gatekeeping, and it's like, oh well, I'm a bigger fan than you. I saw the movie 4 times, 5 times, one more time than you saw it. Are you a real fan? And it's like, okay, dude, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like a flex. I really don't think it's a flex to be like, oh, I saw this movie, I like it more than you. Congrats. Would you like a cookie? You know what you deserve? A Deadpool soda cup, and that's just because I'm being spiteful towards that guy in front of me. But no, man, I'm interested to see where Marvel goes in this direction. obviously we saw the San Diego Comic-Con clip of RDJ being recasted as Doctor Doom, which honestly I'm stoked for. Truthfully, I know I had some negative comments about Deadpool and Wolverine, but again, overall I liked it. But I feel like 90% of Marvel fans just hate anything they do. Anything. Like it's like low key like Star Wars fans. Honestly, I think all Star Wars fans are Marvel fans, and Marvel fans are Star Wars fans. So it kind of the shoe fits. Nobody likes anything that either put out or do. I think it's gonna make the plot thicken that RDJ is Victor Von Doom or Doctor Doom, because I mean, if I'm trying to figure out what I want to say here, like obviously we're all looking forward now to like the reveal of different characters like recognizing uh Doctor Doom as, oh my god, he looks like Tony, our Tony. And I think that adds a higher level of stake to the movies, which honestly we haven't had. Like the stakes have not been high for the past 5 years, even though they should have been. Like we all know that like, oh, the multiverse is a thing. Like all these different superhero movies are intertwined and connected. Like Miles Morales, the Spider-Verse movies are like part of Marvel now. You know what I mean? Like that's like cool, but like they haven't really done anything to like give it any rising action. It's kind of like, okay, everything's part of the same multiverse, but now what? What's going to happen? Nobody knows what's going to happen. And I just think I think it's a smart business move for Marvel. As a fan, just the nostalgia of Robert Downey Jr. being on the big screen again, I think is cool. Obviously, yeah, like I don't necessarily think he's the best person they could have cast for Doctor Doom. Like I think that there's like, I don't know, there's such an endless list of potential people they could have casted. Like Paul Dano, the guy who played the Riddler in the Batman with Robert Pattinson. Like he's a phenomenal actor. RDJ is a great actor, don't get me wrong, but he's not like, I've yet to see anything where he's kind of like scary like that. Like Paul Dano in the Batman was like, he makes your skin crawl, and I think there's so much power to that. Obviously, whoever plays the role is gonna get jacked, and the CGI action sequences are gonna be like, oh my god, he has brute strength, but like you can't teach that level of like scariness. You know what I mean? But again, like I'm not trying to like complain about it. I think it's gonna be really cool. So I think we just gotta, see where it ends up. All right, that concludes my Deadpool review. So what? We're 13 and a half minutes in. Okay, so if you're back from the spoiler review, or sorry, I can't construct a sentence. If you're back from the spoiler alert disclaimer, welcome back. It's good to have you. We were just talking about how Ryan Reynolds is not going to be recasted as Deadpool, unfortunately. But okay, the next thing, work insta balance. Okay, so the person who sent me this prompt, who replied to my story, they wanted to know about my work Instagram balance, and this was honestly a really good question, and it got me thinking a lot, because I never really considered my like work and social media balance. So I have kind of a lot to say about this. So fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. So work insta balance. To be honest, it's pretty much just all work for me. Like there isn't really balance. I'm preface disclaimer. I'm not saying that social media and making content is necessarily hard. I'm not complaining, saying that it's hard, it's difficult. Boo-hoo. I'm just saying that I do pay the bills with it. Again, I know there are much more difficult jobs and more traditional jobs that actually make a tangible difference in our society, like frontline workers, blue collar workers, engineers, doctors, etc. But at the end of the day, Instagram and social media is an endeavor that I partake in that helps me pay the bills. Or I take that back. It pays the bills. Okay? Like that's my main source of income. So I treat it as a full-time job. Like I treat it as work. I treat it as a business because for me it is one, and that's a complete blessing. Okay? I'm so lucky to be in that position. Because I've been thinking about it, just being online, posting on social media. That's amazing, and I'm super lucky, and it's because of you guys that I'm able to do that. You know, but platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, they're all platforms that make making content a hobby, and it can be as fun as you want it to be, and that's fine. It can be all work. It can be all play, no work if you want it to be. It can be just strictly a hobby if you want it to, and that's fine. More power to you. But I learned that if you make content with intention and treat it as a business and really care about your brand and growing it, you'll be amazed by all the doors that open up and all the opportunities that you will receive. Like it's truly incredible, like from both a personal and a financial point of view. Like ever since I started posting with intention and treating it as a business, I've gotten opportunities to work with like my favorite football team, the New England Patriots, and have had the opportunity to work with brands with paid partnerships. Like that wasn't happening for me before. Like I've actually been making videos online for about 4 years, but I really only consider the last 2 years as my actual like content creator era and consider it work. Like the first 2 years, there was no real like strategy behind anything I did. I was working full time, and I was kind of just making videos on the side for fun, like literally like spending like 20-30 minutes tops a day on social media and content. Like it would be making just silly meme videos or like stitching and duetting, and just with the sole intention of like, okay, what's funny, what's gonna go viral, what can like get a lot of views, and it was working. It was definitely working, especially on TikTok, because at the time, late 2021, or 2020 rather, I was posting on TikTok, and I had my personal Instagram, but it wasn't like Instagram Reels wasn't really a thing yet, and it was just like my personal platform. So TikTok was where I was posting primarily video content, and like I said, I was doing well numbers wise. Like I was making viral videos, and it felt great for my ego because I was doing virtually nothing and making funny content that was getting like millions and millions of views. And before I knew it, I had over 1 million followers on the platform, but I had nothing going for me, like financially or as a businessman. Like it was crazy. Like I feel like during 2020, when TikTok really started to boom, a lot of people, myself included, bought into the idea that like once you get 1 million followers and you get that M, you're stamped. Like that's your stamp of approval. Like you're good. You made it. Move to LA. Like you made it. You're gonna be like a wealthy, well-off influencer now. And I wasn't getting that at all. Like at all. Like I literally I hadn't gotten my first brand deal yet, and I was like, yo, I literally have 1 million followers. What is happening? I'm seeing people with like a quarter of my following getting all these brand deals and all these great business opportunities, collabs, partnerships, like merch drops, launching a podcast that's successful. I was like, yo, what am I doing wrong? What is wrong with me? Like, am I like not desirable to watch? Like what it was like a dark spiral a little bit. But the hard truth is that financially on social media, it doesn't matter how many followers you have and how viral you can go consistently. Like, sure, for some brands, like that means a lot. But I heard this on a podcast one time. I can't remember who said it, but essentially, the thing with social media is how likely are people going to consciously go to your page and watch your content? Like, are they actually like fans of you, or are they just scrolling and you happen to come up on their For You page and it's just like, oh, that's funny. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how invested in you are they? You know, um, you need to be meaningful. Like, your content has to be meaningful. It has to like leave an impression on people that is like, again, like I said, like you have the conscious decision to go to their page, find their Instagram, find their YouTube. Is you're following a community, or is it just a number? You know, and I definitely felt like my following was just a number. You know, and I appreciate everyone that followed me and still does, but in terms of being financially successful on social media, you have to have an attractive personal brand. And I didn't have that because I didn't have a personal brand. Like, if someone asked me, like, what's your brand? What do you do on social media? I didn't have an answer. Like, it's like, it was nothing to be like proud of per se. Like, I'd just be like, oh, I just like do like accents. And it's like, okay, what does that, what does that even mean? You know what I mean? Like you have to have a good brand that you can elevate your pitch to. Like, let's say you met someone who works at Duolingo, who's a chronically online brand. What can you say to them that makes them want to work with you? So the last 2 years, I really flipped that switch in my head, and I was like, okay, I should really change up the things I'm posting, how I'm going about posting them. I should have a strategy, maybe come up with some kind of schedule, actually write out my videos. Everything became a lot more calculated, and that alone made a huge difference, like a palpable difference in how my content was doing, how I was creating relations with brands and uh, fellow creators. Um, and that was pretty much like how the whole like Riz pickup line bit came to be. You know, it was something quick, funny, something that people associated with me. Um, it was something that brands liked, that they were literally like, okay, like how can we integrate ourselves into your videos? Like, we like this brand. It's brand friendly. It's funny. It's things that people will share with each other. How can we integrate ourselves into it? And being brand friendly, brand whoa, being brand friendly, and able to involve different brands like that it's important, and it made a big difference. And I apologize for rambling. Again, I'm still not like very like used to this whole podcasting thing, especially as a solo host. So if I'm rambling at all, I apologize genuinely, and I appreciate you sticking with me. And I promise I'm working on it actively, and I will get better at this as I continue to do it. And again, yeah, I apologize for my my rambling. Okay, back to what I was saying. It was crazy that people were really starting to associate me with this type of video style. When you ever heard a pickup line, people would send that to me. They would associate that with me. People would tell me that certain songs would remind them of me. And people were even saying that, like, hey, I'm with this girl or guy now, and it wouldn't be possible without your videos. Like, I literally send him or her your videos all the time, and now we're together, and it's crazy. People have literally even invited me to their weddings. I haven't gotten a formal invitation yet, but people are like, have literally emailed my business email being like, hey, we're gonna get married, like, we want you to be there. Someone even said they want me to sing at their wedding, and I was like, I don't know if you want that. But go off. I like it. I was so flattered. Um, but yeah, I finally created a personal brand that was attractive, and my content was now a business. You know what I mean? And yeah, work insta balance, there is none. It's all work. And that's not complaining, and that's not like a flex. I'm just saying that it's not just Instagram for me anymore. It's not just TikTok, YouTube for me anymore. It's a business. It's a financial entrepreneurial endeavor. And I love it, man. I freaking love it. Um, while we're on the topic of social media though, yo, I got some stuff I got to get off my chest. Okay? I cannot believe how many quote unquote creators or influencers there are that are literally like preying on people that are desperate to grow their business or grow their social media presence. It is like, I can't believe it, man. Like, the amount of like posts I've seen on like Threads, Instagrams, or like YouTube ads being like, buy my masterclass, buy my course. Listen, if anyone has ever pitched to you, or if you've ever seen someone talk about, hold on, let me rephrase. I'm just like so worked up right now. Okay. If you're trying to be a content creator, do not under any circumstance buy someone's course or their masterclass where they're promising you, oh yeah, I'm going to help you grow your social media presence and, take your page to the moon. What are you on about? No, don't do it. Okay. It's so unethical and predatory in my opinion, because obviously in 2024, it's easier and more likely for someone to pop off on social media and become the next big influencer or content creator. And people are taking advantage of that. Okay. And I think it's disgusting. I really do not like it. And I think people should be ashamed of themselves, to be honest, because it's never like a successful content creator or like influencer or podcaster or whatever who has like millions and millions of followers and is trying to like give back, it's always someone with like 10 to 100,000 followers, which is yeah, like good for you. That's a lot, but is by no means like a social media savant and knows what they're talking about. All they're going to do is just hold your hand through what's obvious. Okay. If you want to grow on social media, first of all, this is all information that you can find on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram for free. Okay. If you just do a little bit of research, you're fine. You'll hear all the common denominator points. Oh, like the timing of when you post matters. Look at your analytics. Figure out what videos for you work and make similar videos based off that. You don't need to be paying someone to tell you that. Okay. There's no like one shoe fits all blueprint to be like the next big thing. Okay. And to be honest, you don't want to be the next big thing. Let's talk, like, look at the Hawk Tua girl. Okay. She was the next big thing for like 15 seconds, but now it's like, okay, like work on yourself, your personal brand, creating a following that's a community, and don't focus so much on just trying to be viral and trying to get millions of views, because that only gets you so far. Okay. It really only gets you so far. And honestly, no successful content creator has ever been like, oh, buy my course, buy my masterclass. I will pay me and I will be your coach. That's never happened. Never. It's always a reach. And this is their main revenue stream is getting people to buy their course. And it's mind blowing to me, bro. Truthfully. That's what it is. Could you imagine, that goes for anything. No one who's like successful at what they do is going to be like, buy my shit and I will teach you how it goes, or like brags about it. Okay. It's crazy. Just do research. Okay. And put the time in. Okay. I think ever since TikTok really took off in 2020, everyone's, fallen victim to the idea that like, okay, I can blow up overnight and become like a millionaire online if I just do it for like 2 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years. Like it doesn't work that way. Hold on. I have to my video stop recording, so I have to restart the recording. Movie recording stopped automatically. Maximum recording. Okay. Yes. Okay. I remember now. No one who's ever been great at anything has been able to do it in a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years. Okay. And I think ever since TikTok really and short form media has taken off online, we've all bought into the idea that, okay, I can become the next overnight success. And sure, there are like the 1% of creators who are able to do that. Like, this is no disrespect to these people, but like the Alex Earls or the Jake Shanes, the octopus lovers of the world, like they were the closest thing, I believe, to like an overnight success, but I'm sure they've been doing it for like so long too. Literally every single like creator I know that is successful has been doing it for years, like damn near like 6 to 10 years they've been doing it. Okay. And that goes for anything else. Whatever you want to do in life, it's going to take years, time, put the time in. That's why like doctors, they have to do like years of school just to do that. If you want to be a successful software engineer at Google, whatever, like you've been writing code for years. It didn't just take like 2 years and you're like, well, I got lucky. Like that's not the reality of the situation. Unless you're like a Nepo baby, in which case, congrats for your lineage, I guess. But it drives me nuts, man. Like, it's the only way you'll see results with anything is putting the time in. And the good thing to that is that if you put time into something and you put your heart and your effort and your soul into it, you're going to get success as a result. That's going to be a byproduct. I was literally just talking about how the first 2 years of me making content, I wasn't putting time into it. I wasn't putting my heart and my soul into it. I was never like putting my tears into it. You know what I'm saying? But like now I am. And ever since I've been doing that, it's been a complete game changer. So I promise you, just stick to the plan, stick to the grind, and just keep going. Don't fall victim to all these people that are trying to sell you something, man, just to make a quick buck off you. You're worth more than a couple bucks or a couple $100, whatever they're trying to sell that for. So, all right, if you're trying to be a content creator, don't buy these stupid ass businesses and masterclasses and courses. It's a scam. That's what that is. It's a scam. And people who do that should be ashamed of themselves. Truly. Speaking of people who should be ashamed of themselves, the next thing I want to talk about social media is Threads. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of stopped using Twitter like 4 or 5 years ago, and I've been on Threads ever since it came out, like a little bit over a year ago. And I don't know what it is, but my Threads algorithm is like so messed up, man. Like, what is going on with Threads? Every time I open up that app, it's just people talking about how much they make on social media. And I think it's so wild and so corny. Like, making money on social media, unless you're like absolutely raking it in, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, okay? I mean, you're getting taxed like there's no tomorrow on it. It's not like you're a full-time employee of these platforms, so you're not getting any benefits from it. So I just think it's wild to like be like, oh yeah, I made $2,000 off this YouTube video. For what? To flex on your followers who put you in that position in the first place? Like, people don't realize that most of their followers are also like hardworking 8 to 5 people who work 40 plus hours a week, or they're people who are broke in school, whether it's like high school, college, just so invested in their futures, trying to figure out their lives. Okay. And to just flex on them like that is crazy. Especially I feel for the people who are working so hard, so many hours every week, every month, just to pay the arm and leg that it costs to pay rent and utilities and groceries and buy clothes and buy food. The cost of existing is so ridiculous. I can't believe it. Like it, and the gall people have to be like, guess how much I made off this one TikTok. Good for you, dude. But it's like, God, like why are you flexing on your followers? I don't get it. That comes off as so like insensitive and like disrespectful to me. I can't believe it, man. And again, it's like it goes back to what I said earlier. Nobody who's like genuinely successful doing that is doing that. Okay? No big content creators that you follow. I'm not seeing like, I don't know, the Emma Chamberlains or like the Noah Becks of the world being like, this is how much I made off this one vlog or off this brand deal. Like you don't do that. You don't do that. You're not going to see like, I don't know, the head of Instagram go on Instagram Live and be like, this is how much I made this week, this month, this year. Not Elon Musk wouldn't even do that. And that's saying a lot for Elon. Elon Musk would grab a mic and be like, yes, this is how much we made off Tesla. The Cybertruck I really got people to really buy that. And he hasn't even done that. He hasn't done that. So it's like, why are you? It doesn't make sense. Just don't do that, man. Crazy. I can't believe it. And with that being said, let's talk about freaking Indian food, okay? Golly. Because this also makes me mad. Okay? First of all, Indian food is spectacular. Okay? And that's why it's a sensitive subject for me. Because first of all, most people have never even tried it. No, most people have never tried Indian food. Isn't that crazy? I can't believe it. And it's always because like, oh, well, it's going to make me go to the bathroom. Dog, they literally ask you how spicy you want the food to be. And I know for a fact you go to Chipotle and Taco Bell. And it's like, you can do that, but you draw the line at Indian food? Why? Why? Why is that? I don't believe it. Like, stop being so dramatic. And anyone who has had it absolutely loves it. I've never met someone who's had Indian food and has been like, dude, it was pretty mid, low key. It was all right. It was good. Good. It's been above that. It's always been like, dude, it's great. It's phenomenal. I love it. Everyone's always completely flabbergasted by it. I've never even used that word in real life, flabbergasted, but here I am because y'all got me worked up, man. Oh my goodness. Oh, but Indian food's expensive. It's like you get massive portions, same thing. You get massive amounts of food because it's meant to be shared. Go with like 3-4 people and you guys will spend like $20 max each and have a good meal. Also, it's not fair. It is not fair that I get roasted for loving chicken tikka masala and garlic naan. Why? It's the best. It is the best. Can we stop like playing around that idea? And like I'm sick of walking on eggshells and tiptoeing around the idea that garlic naan and chicken tikka masala is goated. It's goated. And I'm not going to be ashamed of saying that. I'm tired of being scrutinized. It's my food. Why do American people get to say that? And I can't. It's mine. How am I getting gatekept for my own thing? It's my food. The heart wants what it wants, okay? I'm like the Selena Gomez of Indian food. Stop playing, bro. Oh my God. That felt good to get off my chest. Truthfully, guys, I've had that bottled up for like so long. And I just needed to yell that into the ether. And there it is. Off into the world as the next moment is catching up to it. I don't even know what I'm on about at this point, dude. Crazy. Well, I think we're about 40 minutes in. I think I covered all the bases I wanted to cover today. And I just want to say, man, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank thank you for sticking by me through this rebrand. I know it's been probably a very difficult time for you guys to get through this rebrand with me, but it means a lot. And I know like I don't have like thousands of followers of this podcast, or even like I think I literally have like tens of listeners and watchers to this podcast. So to those of you who do, thank you. It really means a lot. And to those of you who might be watching a clip of this right now, I hope you give me a chance. And I'm just thankful, man. Thank you guys for like giving me a platform in the first place, even if it's on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, whatever, just to even like promote this. It's a blessing, you know? And I'm excited to keep this up. And I'll try to be. No, there is no try. There's only do. I will be more consistent with this once a week. Okay? I'm going to try to stick to a schedule. No, again, there's no try, man. I'm going to come up with a day and time that the podcast comes out every week. And I'm going to stick with that. Because I need to make it with intention. Jeez, I need to take my own advice, man. Excuse me. All right, guys. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time. All right? Peace.